I'm Sarah from the Craftivism Collective, and this is a why to video. This isn't a how to video, this is a why you should do it. All of the how will be in the description with lots of links, and everything is in your kit. So I'm going to talk today about why you should make mini fashion statements. So first thing you'll notice, if you've ever got a Craftivism Collective kit before, when you open it up, shock horror, there's no fabric to stitch. This is our first paper craft project, which is very exciting. And it's paper craft because paper craft can be another really powerful way to engage deeply in an issue by making with your hands, but also by the nature of handwriting a message. You still take ownership of that message, and you're not just writing one message. We have enough mini fashion statements to make 10. So every time you write a message, you can think through, what does the message mean? How would you feel if you were finding that little mini statement? So it's another way to engage deeply as a maker. And also you get super cute ribbon to tie up, which is quite fiddly, but because it's not easy, it means you're more proud of what you've made, like this very nice bow that I spent a little while making. So that's why we're doing paper craft. One of the questions I've been getting when I first launched this was, why do we have to pick one of your 3 messages? So in the instructions, it shows you all the steps, but also it asks you to pick one of these 3 messages to write on your statements, or you can use all of them because you have enough to make 10. So you could do 3 of one, 3 of one, 4 of another. And the reason why is because the messages are not about preaching at people, they're about provoking a conversation. They need to be positive, but not overly positive that they don't get us to be critical of fashion and what it means to us. It needs to intrigue people enough to know what you're asking, which is things like, who made your clothes? Are you going to look into that? Was it made in a sweatshop? Was it made super ethically? What's the story behind your clothes? But you're not being negative and judgmental, you're doing it in a very positive way. And all of the messages, some of them are quite poetic because poetry and the nice sound of language can stay in your mind more. Some are questions so that the reader has to respond, but not in an aggressive or a defensive way. So I spent a long time basically writing these 3 messages, and not just on my own, but with experts in communication. I worked with an amazing agency called Futera, who specialise in how to engage people in sustainability and social justice issues. And I paid them in gingerbread cookies because I couldn't afford anything else over a lunchtime. And we spent quite a few hours going through every message you could think of and how we could hone it down. So trust me when I say these messages are really good for you to reflect on while you're writing them, but also they will engage your audience. If you think you've got a better message, send them to us, and then I can see if we should add them or whether we could critique them together. So that's why we've got 3 messages. The third why for this kit is, why use our paper in the kit? Why not just use paper I've got at home? Well, as you might have guessed by now, I overthink everything and think of all the detail, and I picked this paper because you'll see that it's got a bit of extra texture to it. So naturally, as humans, we want to touch it because we like tactile nature. I also, every single little scroll that you get has an embossed pair of scissors with thread on. So it really makes your paper look very special, look quite expensive, a bit luxurious. And again, you want to touch that element. And it has a little hole in for your ribbon. And again, with the message, you put, please open me, all in lowercase with a smiley face and a little kiss. And you can see the lovely pair of scissors with the ribbon over the top. So all of that texture of it being card and not paper, and being all dimply, being off-white, so a bit more creamy, so it's a bit more warm for people and not too clinical, all makes a difference, which is why we've been very specific on what paper to get. So there's 3. Your 4th why is, why am I asking you to shop drop these little scrolls and not just hand them over to people? I know it's a bit scary, shop dropping. Shop dropping means dropping your mini fashion statements into shops rather than shoplifting. So it's the opposite of shoplifting. So you go in a fashion shop, ideally one that could be much better with its ethics. So you want to target people who buy in that shop so that they think about who made their clothes and whether they could make a different, more positive fashion statement. And I tend to go around a few racks, touch a few clothes, a few coats, a few pairs of jeans, and then I just drop them in the pocket. Because what you want with our gentle protest approach is you want people to find the message. You want them to go, what's this cute little thing with a kiss and a little smiley face on, a bit of ribbon, and when I open it, I'm going to open it, this is exciting, what's it going to say? And then you have your super neat, cutest handwriting you could possibly write with your message. So people can read it in their own time and think about it and reread it. They might want to share it on social media or ask their friends about it. But it's about intriguing people rather than forcing your opinion on people, which can be a bit scary and means we're less likely to think through it. And the final why, the fifth why, is why have we ended every message with @FashRev instead of Craftivist Collective or something else? Well, with this kit, we're supporting Fashion Revolution, which is an amazing campaign organisation that get loads done, and they do campaign in a really positive way where they celebrate how brilliant fashion can be, but also how it needs to do better. And it's run by 2 fashion designers. I think they're incredible, and we really want to point people towards going to the Fashion Revolution. So the @FashRev means they can Google it, look on Twitter if they're on Twitter, or just find out more information. Their website has got loads of resources for people and ways people can take action and join the Fashion Revolution. So that's really important to put that there. It doesn't matter people don't know it's the Craftivist Collective, because the cause is the main point. So they're your 5 whys of making your mini fashion statements. Like I've said, all of the how to do it is in the kit. The kits are all super ethical as can be, and if you've got any other questions, then do put them in the comments below. We've got more links in the description. Do share your progress of what you're writing, and your super cute little ribbon bows that you've done, and maybe even some of your shop dropping activity if you can multitask enough to take a picture while shop dropping, which is difficult, but you can do it. So keep in touch, join the Fashion Revolution, and I hope all of that makes you wanna make some mini fashion statements.